Welcome to our live online info session for Automotive Electrical Refresher course at Ashton College. My name is Jimmy and I'm joined here by several colleagues today. We have Rika as our technical host, Maggie from admissions, and of course our instructor, Victor. There are lots of ways to engage with us today during this session and we love to hear your questions. If you're here right now on Zoom, you can use the chat box, the Q&A box, or the raise hand function. And if you're tuning in on Facebook Live, you can just leave us a comment and we'll get back to you during the session. And if you're watching this video on YouTube in the future, you can leave us a comment or you can connect with us by emailing us at ceinfo@ashtoncollege.ca, or you can call us at 604-891-1256 or at our toll-free line 1-866-759-6006. How you doing, Victor?
Oh, I'm doing well. Jimmy, how are you doing today?
I'm pretty good.
Very good, very good.
Just to start things off, could you maybe share with us a little bit about your experience, your educational background, and what brought you to teaching?
Well, what brought me into teaching was I want to give back. Okay, that's it, plain and simple. I wanted to give back. I'm a licensed mechanic, 310S, automotive service technician. I started this trade at a very young age. I wasn't even old enough to drive.
Oh, wow.
All right, so I'll put it to you like that. I started this trade at about 15 years old. So it's been good to me. I've been fortunate, and I've moved on. After 25 years in the trade, I've moved on to teaching. So I attended Centennial College to get certified as an automotive service technician. I recently graduated from Brock University, getting a Bachelor of Education in Technical Education. And I'm working on a Bachelor in Technology through Thompson Rivers University. So, teaching, the best thing I ever did, I would say. Any education is worth it. You're investing in yourself, and I'm proof.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. That's great that you found a way to share your passion with others and to help get others into the industry.
Mhm.
And just so we have some more context, what is automotive electrical systems?
All right. So a lot of I had conversations with some individuals, in the past few days, and people aren't really clear on what it is. But, and I'll be willing to tell you this. All right, is anything that's run by electricity in the car. It goes beyond just getting the car started and recharging the battery. Right? If you have a navigation system, if you have climate control, if you have power seats, you have power windows, all of those fall under automotive electrical. And unfortunately, electrical in automobiles is one of the toughest things for people to comprehend, which is again why it's a refresher course. Because even though you do it in trade school, and you come out of trade school and you're working in industry. I know guys that have been mechanics for 20 years and they still don't understand electrical, right? So this course is it's going to be a clarification of electrical system, and I actually how to diagnose problems hands-on.
Okay, cool. That's really interesting. And yeah, like I've noticed that cars have recently been getting a lot of electrical systems in them and a lot of different high-tech features, and I'm sure it's important to know how to diagnose those and fix them if there's issues.
It's interesting that you mentioned that. A car today, I've seen cars with as little as 75 computers in them and as many as 300 computers in them.
Wow.
All right, so it's definitely the way that the industry is going, and I'm talking, this is just like from like 2005 till now.
Yeah, it's
right. So and with COVID kind of hit a fast forward button on technology.
Mm-hmm.
So and that goes for the automotive industry as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. People have a lot more time.
Well, yeah, well, Volkswagen. So a friend of mine is leasing a Volkswagen Atlas. Volkswagen called him and said, "Hey, by the way, we're glad that you're our customer. We want to keep you as our customer. Your next vehicle is going to be electric.
Wow.
Period. Period. If you get another Volkswagen 3 years from now, it's going to be electric. There's an option or anything like that. They just said it's going to be electric, and they cut it off. So, that we're definitely moving in that direction.
Okay, cool. And just to talk more about the course, who do you think would benefit the most by taking this course? Is it mostly for people that are already in the industry, or do you think it'll also be beneficial for hobbyists and car enthusiasts as well?
This will be beneficial for everyone across the board that's interested in working on a vehicle. Whether you want to fix your own vehicle, whether you're a journeyman and you want some clarification, or you're a fifth-year apprentice and you want some clarification, or you're just a guy that restores cars in your garage, or likes to fix your own vehicle because it's too expensive to bring it to a mechanic. This course is for you. I go
Okay.
right from the basic theory of electricity, right into procedures on how to diagnose electrical problems, right? But it is one of those things that's hands-on, and it's up to you at the end of the day to go through the procedures. The more you do it, the better at it you'll get.
Okay, so going off that a little bit, would you need any prior automotive repair experience then to succeed in this course?
It benefits you if you have prior automotive repair experience, but it's not necessary.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense because you need to have a little bit of the experience at least to be able to practice on your own time as well.
Exactly. And you know what? I'm one of the people, I like to work with people. So when someone tells me that they're not clear or whatever, I'm one of them that's like, no, I gotta bridge the gap. I gotta find out what's going on here. Why these people are not clear on it. And I spend time with them. So, that's just the way I am.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess hands-on experience and having that support would be very helpful to
Of course.
increasing your knowledge.
Well, you know what? When I see someone's taken a course like this and they've invested in themselves, I'm interested. I'm interested in helping them. They've done the hard part and said, no, hold on. I want to better myself, and they've moved forward with education. So I want to help them.
That's great. And what's the general structure of this course? Like, what are some of the main topics that you'll be covering?
Well, it goes from basic automotive electrical systems, basic electricity, Ohms Law, like the basic boring stuff like that. And then I bring you into how to properly read a wiring diagram, how to properly read a pinout chart. Then I start to give you silver bullets in how to find electrical shorts, where to look. And we start to touch on tools that'll save you some time, tools that can possibly save you some money. But unfortunately, with electrical, there is a learning curve with tools. It's not just an on and off with a ratchet. So
Yeah, it's funny that you say that. Actually, my next question was looking at the course outline, I saw that there was a whole topic on the must-have tools and how to use them. And I thought that the Power Probe looked like a fascinating tool that seems like it's essential. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
okay, so a power probe, what it is, I'm actually gonna share my screen so that it's easier for. Okay, so this is your typical power probe. As you could see, it's got the clamps over here that you hook it up to a battery. It's got this great long cord so that you can circulate it around on the vehicle. What this tool does, it actually tells you if the circuit is negative, if the circuit is positive, and it's got a little screen on there that shows you the voltage that the circuit's reading. All right. So for example, on a 12-volt circuit, you could put this on there. If the screen's showing you 8 volts, you got a partial short in the wire.
Mhm.
for example. All right. That's all I'm giving away. You want to know more, you got to take my course.
Of
All
course.
right. But there is a learning curve to a tool like this, because just as it could save you time by eliminating by putting direct current to a part to make sure that the part is functioning and that you do have a wiring problem, you could also damage computers and things like that if you don't know how to use it properly, and if you don't know the theory behind electrical, which is why, like I said, you would need someone. If you're not sure, you need someone like me to clarify things for you.
Oh yeah, that would definitely be helpful to have that extra knowledge of it before you just try probing things, I guess.
Yes, exactly.
And what do you think students will like most about this course?
Well, I tend to be very interactive with my students. I tell them about how my week was, how problems I face. Even though I'm an educator, I still work on cars.
Yeah.
All right, that's I didn't stop doing that because that's why I became a mechanic. I like doing it.
Yeah.
So right, so I didn't stop working on cars. It's just that it's not production line like it used to be for me.
Mhm.
So I tend to share stories about, hey, I ran into this week, and what about you guys? How was it at work for you guys, or what did you guys do, or and it kind of brings everybody out so that I could see myself what they're not clear on, and maybe they could say, oh, wait a second, something clicks, right? So many I teach the refresher course for guys that are people that are writing their license, right? And so many times, just by conversations, have we been able to clarify topics and things like that that other people in the class weren't sure of, just by having conversations with each other, right? And you give away silver bullets and stuff like that can save someone work down the road, right?
Sure.
So that's that is one method that I really do enjoy.
Yeah, that sounds great. It sounds like because sometimes people just don't even know what to ask about something, and a lot of questions that they might not know how to ask could get answered just through conversations.
Exactly. And you know what? It puts people in a comfort zone. There's a lot of time people they don't want to stick out and ask a question in front of other people because they feel that they're doing something wrong. The only thing that they're doing wrong, in my opinion, is not asking the question.
Yeah,
All right, because
exactly.
if I don't know your question, I can't answer it. But and as an educator, I do see that with people in general, adults and children. It's the same thing. Nobody wants to be out of place. Nobody wants to stick out, which is fine, right? But
Mhm.
like I said, it puts people in a comfort zone where maybe they're not afraid to ask.
Yeah, that's great. And just adding on to that more, could you go into more detail and describe your teaching style a little bit more?
Well, unfortunately, the only unfortunate thing with the college courses is that you only get me for a couple hours a week. But I do answer emails and and phone calls and stuff like that from my students. Now, I like to chunk information so that I give it to you in bits,
Mhm.
right? Because it's easier to absorb a page out of a book rather than trying to absorb the entire book in one shot,
Yeah, for sure.
right? But as I chunk the information, I actually pick out the most important things that you're actually going to need to know and that you're going to use. Remember, I'm a mechanic,
Yeah.
all right? I actually do this. I am an educator and everything else, but I'm a mechanic first. I actually work on cars. I do electrical system. I install fuse boxes. I do all of that. I've wired up entire vehicles before from scratch. Actually, I'm doing one now that I'm wiring up from scratch. But anyways, um, I know what you're gonna need. I know what you're gonna have to use. I know what you're gonna use all the time, and I do know the problems that you're gonna run into over and over and over again. There's a reason why you spend 2 hours to diagnose an electrical problem on a car, and you give it to someone that's got more experience, quote unquote, and they figure it out in 15 minutes. And you're like, what am I doing wrong? You're not doing anything wrong. Someone showed them what I want to show you. Plain and simple.
Yeah, that's great because you have so much experience that I guess when you're teaching, you're probably not going to spend too much time on the stuff that wouldn't really be relevant in the day to day.
Well, let me give you something that's not relevant day to day, but you do need to know the basic theory of electricity and Ohm's law, like how atoms and particles and all of that. Yes, you do need to know that, but you're not going to need to know that to fix a car. You
Yeah.
just need to know how electricity works and how it travels.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right? Ohm's law, you're calculating voltage, watts, amps, right? Yes, it's good. You do need to know that. You will not apply that though when you're looking for a draw problem on a car. All right. A draw problem on a car, let's say that you shut your car off, you take the key out, you walk away from it, and the next day the battery's dead, right? Because there's something staying on inside your car,
Hmm.
right? Either you might have left your interior light on, or a computer might not be going to sleep. Whatever the case, Ohm's law is not going to help you fix that. But you do need to know Ohm's law to know how that system works.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've definitely had that problem actually before too, the power draw problem.
Yeah,
Battery kept dying and then it turns out it was a little sensor in the door handle that was broken.
yeah, yeah. It does happen. And let me guess, it drove a mechanic crazy for about 3 hours to find it.
Oh yeah, for sure. He actually found it I actually found it when I was opening my door. I saw that my door handle was really hot. So then I asked him about that and then he opened it up and saw, yep, that's what was broken.
See, but do you see how difficult electrical can be?
Oh yeah,
Even
it's very
for a
complex.
mechanic?
Yeah.
Even for a mechanic? See that? You found it by accident, and he's like, oh wow, thank you.
A lot of little parts.
Yeah.
And so what are your expectations for the students who enroll in this course? How much time will they be spending on assignments and reviewing material outside of class?
All right. So as far as assignments go, I give basic assignments to students that'll aid them in how to read a wiring diagram and stuff like that. If you comprehend it, it'll take you about a couple hours a week to complete them. As far as getting good at automotive electrical, practice makes perfect. You have to work with it. If you don't work with it, you're not going to get better. You could build up all the confidence you want on paper. The proof is in the pudding. You have to be able to fix a car.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So at the end of the day, you have to keep at it, keep working with it, right? Keep rocking your brain, because I'm telling you, it gets easier as you do it. The less you do, the harder it's going to be. Plain and simple.
Yeah, that definitely makes a lot of sense. And so what does success look like in this course?
Well, success to me looks like someone that's more confident when they're leaving than when they came in, right? And if you feel good about something at the end of it, that means that you've learned something that you didn't know before, and you're looking to apply it when you go out. Okay. And I remember it when I started to comprehend how computer systems in cars work. When a check engine light came on, I used to there was one time in my life when a check engine light came on. Oh no, please don't give me that. Right? Now a check engine light comes on, it's like a glitch in my day. It's like, oh, why are you wasting my time with this? Here, this is what the car needs. Get out of here. So it's different. It's different.
Yeah, it's all about building that confidence.
Once you know and you're confident in what you're doing and you don't second guess yourself, that's what success looks like, right? But as long as you feel better when you leave the course than when you started, right? And I see it all the time with other students of mine with Ashton that take the refresher course, right? About halfway through the refresher course, I'm on these guys saying, guys, don't give up. You're only halfway there, right?
Mhm.
80% of the guys that completed the course got their license.
Wow.
Okay. The other guys, I can't speak for them because they weren't allowed to write because of the pandemic. There's a waiting list in
Yeah.
Ontario.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, they're on a waiting list right now to go write their CFQ.
Okay.
So that's why I could update that number for you when they free that up.
I'm sure it'll go up.
I'm sure. I'm sure too. These guys are still studying really hard. So
And so is there an automotive electrical repair handbook or any kind of supplemental reading that you'd recommend for those who will be taking this course?
well, I provide the bulk of the material. Actually, what I provide is even overkill. You'll have access to my entire course online, right?
Mhm.
Once you register, even once you're done, right? You'll have access to the information and the theory part of it, which once you understand it, you're not going to look at it ever again. That's why I keep access to it, because oh, I know this already. You don't have to go back to it to reference it. But like anything else, even if I don't have it there in the course, if you find something that's useful, read it, right? I find useful things all the time on online and in textbooks and old materials and new materials that's given to me, right? I do a lot of reading, and when you grow this, everything else falls into place.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Awesome. Thank you. And so what kind of job opportunities are available for students who specialize in automotive electrical systems?
it's ridiculous. There's a shortage. Not even job opportunities. It's like if you know the electrical system of a car, there is a shortage. I saw an ad from a dealership in Fort McMurray offering $77 an hour for someone to do
Oh,
that.
wow.
I was like, I'm like, that's insane. That's crazy. All right. So, but it was there, right? But
Yeah.
that was Fort McMurray. We know there's a labor shortage up there and everything else. But in Toronto, I see $40 an hour.
That's
All
great.
right. In the GTA, I see $40 an hour, which I don't think that that's bad.
Yeah, so there's definitely a demand for people that know what they're talking about with these.
Yeah, like I said, if you're able to, it becomes an art after.
Mhm.
Once you know what you're doing, it becomes kind of an art where where you keep working with it, and you kind of perfect your craft, right? You hone your craft, you get better at it. The more you work with it, and like I said, it's ridiculous. It's not even a matter of how much do we have to pay you? Why do we have to pay you that? Oh, you could actually do this. All right, you're hired. That's what it's come to. It's the money's kind of like no, that's the going rate. That's the price to have a guy like that there. So
Oh, that's great. It's
you
great
know,
who takes this course then as well.
well, you know what? So I have a friend of mine, all right, that he took a course that's similar to what I put together for this, and he bundled it together with the current knowledge that he had, and he diagnoses cars for a living. Like he just goes from shop to shop and figures out what's wrong with different vehicles. He is grossing about $2,000 a day
Oh, wow.
doing that. Okay, there is a and they pay willingly, because if they don't pay him when he leaves, he won't go back.
I guess they need his expertise.
Exactly, they need him. That just tells me that they need him more than he needs them.
Yeah.
Right? He just says, "Oh, you don't want to pay me? Don't ever call me again."
Well,
And then that's it. End of
that's really
story.
good.
So
So you mentioned earlier that you've been in this industry since you were 15 years old.
yeah.
So In your years of experience, what can you say has changed about the industry in that time?
So what's changed in the industry is this, is that there's less mechanics out there, number one. All right. And it has two things. Number one, there wasn't really a push for trades in Generation X and the millennial generation. All right. The baby boomers, they're retiring. Okay. So that's number one. First and foremost, there is a huge labor shortage. All right. So anyone that wants to get into a trade, you are making the right choice. All right. Number one. Number two, things are more complex. All right. When I first started in the trade, there was a fuse box.
Yeah.
Not a computer, a fuse box. 28 wires coming out of it. All right. It was not, it wasn't easy, but it wasn't super hard. Okay. Well, now I'm not joking. I've worked on cars with 300 computers in them. Right? It's an entire network of computers, right? And I've actually seen a Mercedes that didn't start because the seatbelt tensioner shorted out. I'm not joking. Like you know the push button, right?
Yeah.
Push to start. You go to push to start it. There's no crank, no nothing, and the dash lights up. And then by the time we figured out what was wrong with it, right? About 4 hours later, we figured out what was wrong with it because we had to run a series of tests and everything else. We found that the seatbelt tensioner on the passenger side was shorted out and brought down the network. This is what you're dealing with vehicles today.
Yeah.
All right. By no means, even for an expert like myself, was that easy to figure out, but it's doable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's doable when you know the basics and you're able to work with the basics and and keep growing your knowledge, right? And you're not shy to keep reading and understanding how things work and everything else. You will be successful in repairs like that. By the way, the diagnostic time on that bill was $800
Wow.
just to check it.
That's
Just
great.
the time to check that was $800. All right.
I mean, that makes sense because it sounds like there's a lot of different things you have to check as well to make sure you know what you're.
Exactly. And you know what? Guess what? Oh, you don't like it? Take it somewhere else.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's the position. When you understand these systems, that's the position you're in. Right? Guess what? He brought it somewhere else. They couldn't figure it out. That's why he came to me. All right. That's it. Like literally, it was like, okay, that's how much I want. Oh, you don't want to pay for it. Okay, well, here, go. Get a tow truck, bring it somewhere else, and don't waste my time.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
you've spent a long time learning about these things, so you
Yeah.
should get what's fair to you.
Yeah. But I don't want to sound like, oh, a typical mechanic or whatever, but no, it's a complex problem.
Mhm.
It went through a bunch of different hands. We figured out what the actual issue with the vehicle was. There's value there,
Oh yeah,
right?
for sure.
Which is why it's worth it to invest in training,
Yeah.
right? Because once you know what you're doing, you can actually have that type of attitude where like, well, listen, I'm willing to fix it. If you're not willing to pay for my time, you're welcome to leave with your vehicle,
Yeah, for sure.
right? Or on the flip side, if that's your car, you don't have to pay someone like me $800 to fix it or to check it for you.
Yeah,
That
you
was
could
actually that was actually from another shop.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The guy gave me a hard time, and I said,
Yeah.
"Why are you giving me a hard time?" That's how much it is. Pass the cost on.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Awesome. Yeah. So there's lots of different educational paths out there. So why do you think that students should choose to take this specific course with Ashton College?
well, there's nothing anything that you do where you're investing in yourself, all right? is great. You take this course because you have someone like me that's an instructor. All right. Qualified teacher, mechanic of 25 years. I still work on cars. I'm not one of those guys that, oh, I have a bachelor degree now. I have a job. I'm going to wash my hands and never get them dirty again. I actually like what I do, and I want to pass my knowledge on to help others, right? You take a course like this because of the instructor. You don't take a course like this because of for anything else. And like I said, I do have a lot to offer, and by the time I'm done with you, you'll be a better tech.
Awesome. That's great to hear. And we'll just pass it over to Maggie now so that she can talk a little bit more about the admissions process of this course. And
Perfect.
Thank you, Jimmy. And I appreciate all the helpful questions right there. Thank you very much. And to our instructor, Victor, as always, we appreciate you helping us to understand more about this course. Thank you very much. And hello to our future viewers right there. My name is Maggie, Admissions Officer for Continuing Education. Automotive Electrical Refresher Course is one of the new courses here at Ashton College under Continuing Education that we offer live online. We will provide an in-depth insight into the world of automotive mechanics, electronics. This short refresher course will help students understand theory, diagnosing, and service of automotive electrical systems. The course duration is 5 weeks with 10 hours of instruction. The start date is on July 6 till August 3. Again, July 6 till August 3. 2021, and webinars will be held once a week. That is every Tuesday from 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The registration fee is $499, no other charges. You can register yourself online at ashtoncollege.ca or give us a call at 604-891-1256 or send us all your questions and inquiries at ceinfo@ashtoncollege.ca. Thanks, Jimmy.
awesome. Thank you, Maggie. And Victor, before we wrap things up, do you have any other additional words of advice or thoughts that you'd like to share?
I do want to tell everybody one thing. You'll never go wrong with education. Any training, anything like that, whether it's with Ashton or with the school at the corner of wherever you live in Canada. When you invest in training and education, you invest in yourself. You're investing in yourself. You're looking to better yourself. All right. Keep that in mind whenever you're looking for any training programs to better you at whatever job you do, whether it's mechanic, electrician, plumber, gas fitter, whatever it is. We're happy to take you at Ashton College, but no matter what your decision is, you're investing in yourself, and good for you.
Awesome. Thank you. Very inspirational, and yeah, it's very true. Like you said, investing in yourself is always a good thing to be doing.
Yeah.
And if you're watching this on YouTube or on Facebook and you have any questions, you can either email us at ceinfo@ashtoncollege.ca, or you can call us at 604-891-1256, or at our toll-free line at 1-866-759-6006. And with that, I just want to thank everyone who's watching or everyone who's joined us, and I hope everyone has a great week. Thank you, Victor, for your time and for having this conversation with us, and it's been very informative, and I learned a lot about the course. And thank you, Rika, and thank you, Maggie, as well.